Hey guys, my name is Nogan and welcome to my C++ series. So in today's video guys, we focus on one-dimensional, two-dimensional arrays in C++. If you guys haven't watched the previous video, I'll link a card on top there. It's about introduction to arrays in C++. In that video, I only focus on like how to declare a variable which of type array, and in a way also I can say that in that video we declared a one-dimensional array, but I didn't specify more like the difference between one-dimensional and two-dimensional arrays and how they can be used in programming. So in today's video, in the main function here guys, we'll declare a one-dimensional array again. We'll look at how to declare it again from startup again, and how it can be declared, initialized also, and we'll see the difference between a one-dimensional and also two-dimensional. So let me just include here a comment. So you declare a one-dimensional array. So the type int empty test score. Now when you're declaring an array guys, you have to use the index, which is like the index array, which is like this color brackets here. Now in this index you have to include like the number of elements, which means the number of elements an array has to contain. For example, here I'm going to include 5 as a number of elements. So I'm going to also initialize our arrays here. So we'll say first the first array element will be 45, 85, 74, 96, and also 25. Awesome. So guys, you can see we declared now a one-dimensional array because it's of type int. It contains 5 elements, as you can see here, and they've been initialized, as you can see in this array line here. Awesome. So after this, let's try and see like in which index number is the value being stored in. So I'm going to say out again. Test score. Now when you want to see the value of the value of the index that you've been storing, you have to use the index again and also the value. So I'm going to say first, because now when you are eventually trying to like retrieve the number stored in the index of an array starts from 0 by definition. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, because now remember 0 will be here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first index will be 0. And let me just include an end line. Okay, let me also include a message so we can see the index 0 is. Awesome. Okay, let me just highlight this and copy and paste it 4 more times so we can see. Awesome. I'm going to say here 1, so 1, 2, and 4. Awesome. Here 2, 3, and also 4. Awesome. So and I'm recording. Okay, so guys, you can see now we have eventually having this 5 elements being displayed here. So I want to see now the values being stored in each index of the test scores you can see here. So let's run this program so you see. Awesome. As you can see now we have like a systematic way where the index being stored by the numbers and also being displayed here. So let's try and compare the values and also let's see it properly. If you look at the line 18 in the source file here, eventually as you can see our index starts from 0. And 45 has been stored in index of 0, 85 and 1, 74 and 2, 96 and 3, and 25 and 4. Awesome. So let's try and also change the dimensions of the array from a one-dimensional to the two-dimensional array. So what's happening here guys, I'm going to declare another variable, but now this time it will be a two-dimensional array. So the two-dimensional array. Awesome. So before I declare an array here, or two-dimensional, let's define a two-dimensional array. So what is a two-dimensional array, guys? So a two-dimensional array is a collection of a fixed number of components arranged in rows and columns, which means we have two types of indexes. It's by definition. So what's going to happen right now, before I declare here, I'm going to go to outside the main function and declare a global variables of const int. Those ones will be now for row and columns. We're going to be using now in the definition of two-dimensional arrays. So here I'm going to say now, declaring a global variable, the const int to be rows, initialize to 4. Let's make it 4, and const again int columns. Awesome. Let's make it 3. Awesome. Now in here, by definition, what is an array? A two-dimensional array, which means it has to have rows and columns of two types of indexes. So I'll say int again. I'll name it board, the name of the array name. The first index here will be the rows, which means, and remember, I eventually initialized and declared two variables, as you can see on top here. So what's happened right now here, let me use those two const variables. Let me say going to be rows. The second will be a columns. Awesome. So let's also try to initialize our array also here, guys. Now let me just make it much more beautiful, make it much more nicer, so you can see how it looks. Okay. Now here I'll declare now eventually we have 4 rows and 3 columns. So the first row will contain now 3 numbers, which is like the in terms of columns. So it'll be 2, 3, and 1. Okay. So after this, the second row it will be now 15, 25, and also 13. Let's make a mistake here. Let me just fix this. Back here and include. Okay, so it's gonna be here. Will include 20, 4, and also 7. Okay. Last will be 11, 18, and also 14. Awesome. So guys, as you can see right now, we have a beautiful display of a two-dimensional array. As you can see here, we're initializing also here. So the first is the first row, second row, third, and fourth. Now let's try and see also the values of those indexes now that are in a two-dimensional space in the source program. So I'm gonna just like copy one of these lines here and paste after this. Let's paste it. So I'm gonna say now it will be a board index. Let's say, for example, I want to see the first index. But remember, this index here of this two-dimensional array is dynamic changes now, because remember, this index will be 0, 1. So I'm looking for in the second index here. I'm looking for the value of the index 2 there, which will be 13, because it's going to be now 0, 1, 2. So let's change this name into board and test our assumption. So it'll be this, and also it'll be this. Awesome. So guys, let me run this and see what's happening. Awesome. As you guys can see now, we are also having included this new initialization of a two-dimensional array. So the board index contains 13 here. So as you can see, based on our assumption, we assume that now the indexes that is being displayed in this board array initialization here, we're looking for the index of the second row, but now we're looking for the number of the index 2 there, which is going to be 13 by the value. So by definition, now you can see, based on the initialization of the two-dimensional arrays that have been displayed here of type int, we have the number of rows contained and also the number of columns. But remember, I initialized these two variables here as const variables before the main function, as you can see here. So which means these are now const, which means you cannot change this type of rows, but you can also declare them as like dynamic. You can also declare your arrays as like dynamics, as you'll see in upcoming videos, because in the upcoming video we'll focus on something called a multi-dimensional array, which is like a powerhouse that you can use to like store the number of data collectively in a dimension, as you'll see in the upcoming video. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. So please don't forget to comment down below if you have any. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell notification, and see the repost on my channel.